The Mekong River rises beyond the Himalayas in eastern Tibet. It sweeps 2,600 miles through Southeast Asia to the South China Sea. It is the principal highway and lifeline of the Kingdom of Laos, and in its swirls marks the boundaries of Laos with Burma and Thailand. Laos is a small, landlocked country of jungle-covered hills and valleys, with the mountains and high lands of the Annamite Range forming the border with Vietnam. Laos can look back to a golden age when the country was strong and united. But for the last 2 centuries, it has been divided and weak, a bone of contention between powerful neighbors. Situated in an area of strategic importance, Laos has neither the natural barriers nor population large enough to stand foreign encroachment. In the lowlands live more than half of the population of 3 million people. Vientiane, the administrative capital, lies on the banks of the Mekong River. During the hot season, the Laos, a carefree people, enjoy the many festivals. Laos may appear a paradox, but to the Laotians it is not a riddle. They love their tradition, their country, and their way of life. So, after more than 20 years of war, in which every family became involved, peace came to Laos in 1973. Negotiations were started for the 3rd time between the communist-supported Pathet Lao and the American-supported Vientiane government. For the past 30 years, the predominant figure in the affairs of Laos has been the Prime Minister, Prince Suvarnabhuma. He always maintained a headquarters and a presence in Vientiane for the Pathet Lao, in spite of the years of fighting and foreign interference. The Prime Minister's half-brother, Prince Suphanuvong, is the Pathet Lao leader. The 2 brothers agreed to meet in 1974 after bitter years of rivalry and conflict, and to form a government of national union and a joint political council. The day following the formation of the government of national union, Sri Rajmohan Gandhi and the musical production Song of Asia arrived in Vientiane. They were welcomed by a committee of hosts and by Mr. Chantarasi.
His Highness Prince Suvarnabhuma, Prime Minister of Laos, has invited Song Asia to come to Laos as crowning of his efforts in the field of reconciliation between the Lao people. And the cabinet approved that.
The Prime Minister, the diplomatic corps and members of the cabinet attended the premiere of Song of Asia. The performance was introduced by Rajmohan Gandhi.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. We are deeply grateful for the welcome given to us in Laos. Today, 2 great tasks await Asia. 1, to give a better life to the hundreds of millions who live in Asia, and 2, to answer the search for something that satisfies, that is evident throughout the globe. Song of Asia explores the past of Asia, and it explores the future mission of this continent.
Song of Asia has a cast of 50 young men and women from countries in Asia and the Pacific. They have created a dramatic musical with sketches molded from their own experience and from the hard reality of their struggle for an Asia free from corruption and hate. The chief abbot of the Wat Ong Tu monastery invited them to speak with the monks.
With moral remembrance, we put into practice the precepts of Buddha.
The students invited them to the college and university. After the presentation, the students talked at length with the cast. Mr. Shantarasi and his daughters were always involved.
I was very absorbed in the conversation with them, and they asked me so many questions. There are groups who are violent. They are not satisfied. There is no family that has not been affected by the war. Some students want a change in the society. They see there is some abuse. We go deep in the matter of how to change our own life before we try to criticize others. I told them of my own experience, how I start myself, seeing my own mistakes and how I put right what was wrong in myself, in my family. Very simple facts. And some of the students asked me whether when they have issues or problems, whether they can go and see me.
Mrs. Shantarasi was equally concerned.
I told them in the housewife way, because I'm just a housewife. Sometimes we use violence, sometimes we want this and want that, and we never satisfied. People forgot about their inner voice. This is the things that I want to ask many to sacrifice and try to learn how to listen to their inner voice to cure the hatred in our country.
The cast of Song of Asia is composed of young people who have found the secret of listening to the inner voice. They have changed their own life, and they show discipline, dedication, and they are able to show real statesmanship. The members of the cast were welcomed wherever they went.
ข้าพเจ้าในนามเป็นคนลาวดีใจนำเสียงเพลงของเอเชีย
I believed only through violent revolution society will change.
There is a growing number of men and women in my country who have decided that hate and selfishness should be ended so that a better future may be built.
For every single man and woman, there is a special purpose. What is the special purpose for Laos? I believe that Laos is meant to give 3 gifts to the world. The first is the gift of unity. Already your leaders have shown reconciliation. But supposing unity comes to every single family in Laos, the second gift Laos could give is honesty. Supposing all the businessmen of Laos paid their taxes fully and honestly, if all the government officials said that we will do our work and our duty without any inducement, and supposing the students of Laos said that there was going to be no cheating of any kind in the examinations in the schools and colleges, and the third gift Laos could give the world is justice, that man ends the exploitation of man. We all want justice, and anyone who wishes to be a revolutionary can make the following experiment. He can decide that he will listen to the inner voice that speaks in his heart, that he will not listen to the voice of greed, of hatred and violence, but he will listen to the inner voice. Write down the thoughts on a piece of paper. And we believe that the students and the people of Laos will be in the front line of this revolution to change this world.
And now it seems to me that the students see clearer what they have to do for their own country. It was the first time that they think not in a shell, they see beyond the frontier of Laos. And I was amazed that the Laos students are permeable to something really new. They want to know the secret of how to practice the 4 moral standards. They don't want to receive instruction from anybody, but listen to the inner voice.
8 of the cast were interviewed on Lao National Radio.
You are from India, Laos, Australia, the Philippines, and Papua New Guinea. Our listeners would like to know more about moral rearmament and the ideas behind the show.
MRI believes that nobody is more reactionary than the person who wants to see the world change but is unwilling to change himself. We believe that we must make a start from ourselves and put things right in our own lives and then set out to tackle what is wrong in the world. As men listen to that inner voice, they become strategic, and instrumental in changing society.
How would that affect Lao people?
The ceasefire agreement in Laos made me think of what I should be doing for my country. And I realized that I was typical of my generation, irresponsible and indifferent. So I decided to use my life not only to heal the hurts and hates of my people, but also to bring a new hope for the people of Indochina.
I was really sincerely looking for the answer to the problems of Indochina. I took part in the anti-war demonstrations in my town. I was disillusioned with capitalism, but also I was disillusioned with the left. It was after graduating that I heard about Song of Asia and heard about these people here. And it struck me immediately that I, as an Australian, ought to be working with them. So I worked hard, saved money, and sold all my possessions and came to Asia.
You have these standards of purity, honesty, unselfishness, and love. Are they practical?
Take the case of absolute love and honesty. There is a war going on south of my country between the Muslims and the Christians. Ancient hate and mistrust have been carried on from generations to generations. I have decided to stop blaming. I thought, how can I build a united country without the Muslims? I apologize to a Muslim, Filipino Muslim, for my superior attitude towards them.
You stress apology. How does that help people who are suffering injustice?
Because of the suffering that my family and my people experienced, I burned with a determination to take revenge. One day, I met an army officer whom I thought was responsible for the suffering in my area. I had a very clear thought to go and apologize for my bitterness. I had to choose which was more revolutionary, to take revenge or to forgive. I asked for God's help. When I apologized, he became a different man. And he said, from now on, I'm going to treat your people like my own family. This really gave me a hope and a faith that I could even change the people whom I hated when I was absolutely honest.
What I feel is that everyone must start.
The sufferings and hopes of the people of Indochina are portrayed in Song of Asia through the poem The Smile of the Apsara, the meditations of a Buddhist monk.
The frozen smile of the Apsara is lit by the first fires of dawn. The silence in her heart replies to nature's calm. In this primordial silence, where all is new, where all is pure, feeble language would create a senseless cacophony. In this primordial silence, where all is new, where all is pure, I have long been silent. My country, embroidered with lights and woven in colors, forsaken in one corner of the earth, this pitiful, poor, orphan country is the first to receive the glistening light of Surya Apollo. It is the first to die of its own grandeur. O Nagaraja, shall we ever again see across the earth these thousands of smiles now frozen, these bodhisattvas, these apsaras, these kings, are they dead? Will our people live again? Hope, O Lord, hope is in the smiles of our people. The day that the Apsara smiles, our people will smile again. Grief freezes the dead smiles and contracts the mouth into a grin of hate. Contempt, malice, lack of understanding pour their putrefying waters into the chalice of our hearts. What progress have we made? When will hatred cease to engender hate? That the Apsara may smile again. that our people may go back to the land of love and joy. That this may happen, we swear that we will sacrifice our hate and our suspicions at the altar of our pride. Then will the divine Apsara break free of the stone pillory as hard as our suspicions and hates. Then will she dance so that our people may smile again. And in this dance may she lead all the peoples of Cambodia and of Laos, of Thailand and of Vietnam, of Burma and of Indonesia, of Malaysia and of Maharlika. May the joy these lands find spill over to the ends of the earth, and with them may the whole world celebrate.
On the 11th of May, Constitution Day was celebrated all over Laos. His Majesty the King travelled to Vientiane to preside over the ceremony. On the following day, Song of Asia was performed for the royal family in the Golden Palace.
The four dancers gave to their majesties a bouquet of flowers. This respect shows that the dancers, on behalf of the caste, ask for forgiveness for any mistake that might happen during the show. His Majesty pinned a medal to Sri Rajmohan Kanti, and their Majesties pinned to each one of the members of the caste Buddha amulet. I consider it a great honor. The royal family were very happy to see the performance.
Who will break the chain of hate? Who will break the chain of sorrow? Ancient wrongs shed blood today, wrongs today, shed blood tomorrow. Who will break before too late? Break the chain of fear and hate. I can still remember the day my sons came to me.
Mother, have you heard?
What is it, my son?
They've worked out an agreement. The fighting is over.
How can I believe it? Is the fighting ever over?
It is true, Mother. Do you realize what that means? We can go out openly.
Be careful what you say, brother. The fighting may have stopped. But what about our own enemies? Them, the other group.
They wouldn't dare attack us now. I tell you, the shooting is over. You know that beautiful basket you won, Mother? We can go to the next village and buy it.
Not yet, my son. You're too restless.
I'm tired of always living in the shadows. I want to be out in the open again. I will buy that basket for you.
I'm coming with you. For God's sake, be on your guard.
We'll be all right. We'll keep our eyes open. We'll be back before you know it. And with the basket you've wanted for a long time.
Be sure you're back before it is dark.
Who will break the chain of hate? Who will break the chain of sorrow? Ancient wrongs shed blood today, wrongs today, shed blood tomorrow. Who will break before too late? Break the chain of fear and hate. Yes, this is the basket I've longed for. There's blood in the basket. Blood. The blood of my son.
Yes, Mother. We were betrayed. He was shot in the back.
Thank God I'm alive to avenge my brother's death. You were right. We should have never trusted them. Traitors!
What are you doing?
Don't ask questions. I'm going out.
In your best shawl? Why?
Am I a coward? Have I no honor in my heart? No love for my family?
No, not you too. No.
It's no use, Mother. I have heard the whole story. It was cold-blooded murder. He is the next in line. He must do what he must do. And if I fail, you know what you must do.
Stop him.
Things have gone too far. We cannot stop now. May the blood of our murdered brother go with you. Don't forget. I won't forget.
Who will break the chain of hate? Who will break the chain of sorrow? Ancient wrongs shed blood today.
I bring the worst of news, Mother.
He was killed.
Worse than that, he failed.
And then?
He went out to our brother's freshly made grave. There he spread out his shawl. There he shot himself.
My son, my son.
And now I must go, Mother.
The last of my sons.
I promised him, Mother. You heard the last thing I said to him. Would you want me to be a coward?
No, but if you carry on with this terrible bloodshed and revenge, you are a coward. Aren't you brave enough, any of you, to find a better way? Aren't you?
Is hate wrong? Will it destroy us as well as those we want destroyed? But without it, how are we going to make sure that we do not get exploited? And what about those who have died? Those in prisons? They are forgotten. They have become like some abandoned mines where only foul gases remain. We say we love our people, but will our greater love for our own success condemn us to give our worst to those we love? Is it cowardly to forgive? If I can have the courage to kill a man, why can't I also love him enough to make him a different man?
So you're going, my son.
Yes, Mother, I must.
Where is your gun?
I'm leaving my gun behind. Pray for me, Mother.
God bless you, my son.
Who are you? What do you want? I must see your leader. It is urgent.
Who wants to see me? You? Another clumsy attempt at revenge?
No weapon, sir.
Even lost your gun? You are in a bad way.
I have a weapon here in my heart. For the death of my brothers, I wanted you and your lot destroyed.
Don't forget, my own brother was also killed.
Yes, enough blood has been spilled. I have come here to give up my hate of you.
It's a trick.
In the past, it might have been. Because it is true, I have wanted to push out men like you so that our side could take power for themselves. But I have realized now that I have been too sensitive to how others have hurt me and forgotten how much I have hurt others. With the hate I have had towards you, I could never have done what is right for our people. I hope you can forgive me.
You have shown great courage. You'll find it hard to believe, but I did not want it to happen to your brother. I even tried to prevent it. Yet, I too am responsible. We seem to have lit a fire which we cannot put out. Go and tell your people that the past is past.
The real heroes of Laos will be the people who can break the chain of hate and revenge.
Song Asia was not an ordinary entertainment. We saw practical solutions to many current problems. We have witnessed an Asia with her joy, happiness, suffering, sorrow, and hope, an Asia whose destiny is unfolding. We have the convictions that one day these aspirations will become reality.